All right, part number 2. Now we're dealing with exponential equations, but we decided to throw square roots in there just to be perverse. So let's actually start over here with the try it. So 5 to the x equals square root of 5. Remember, square roots are fractional powers because they cancel out whole number powers. So if 5 to the x equals 5 to the 1/2, x better be 1/2. If I put 5 to the 1/2, yes, 5 to the 1/2 is square root of 5. So over here, 2 to the 5x equals, this will be 2 to the 1/2. We log, get rid of the 2's as bases. So we will have 5x equals 1/2. And then I'm going to divide by 5, which is the same as multiplying by 1/5. So x is a very peculiar looking 1/10. So if I put that in there, 2 to the 5 times 1/10, 5/10 is 1/2, so 2 to the 1/2 equals square root of 2. Yes. All right. So don't be intimidated if you see some sort of weird radical. Just remember, that is a fraction power. Figure out what the power is. If it's a square root, there's an invisible 2 as the index. Any other radical will literally tell you. Cube roots have a 3 because they're the 1/3 power. Fourth roots have a 4 because they're the 1/4 power. You just got to remember square roots cancel out squares, so they're 1/2s. All right, now this one, we got stuff all over the place. Okay, so 64, 8, and 2 can all be written in terms of 2. I could try to make them all in terms of 8, but that tends to make people's heads hurt too much, so let's just think about 64. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. 64 is 2 to the 6th. So I can rewrite 1 over 64 as 2 to the negative 6th equals, or not equals, sorry. So I have 2 to the negative 6th, and then that is raised to the 3n times the 8 is the same as 2 to the 3rd. And then the 2 to the 6th is in terms of 2. All right, so we got a little more work here, but those two guys are close enough to multiply. So this will be 2 to the negative 18n times 2 to the 3rd equals 2 to the 6th. All right, so these guys here, side by side, they both have bases like houses. Your next door neighbor, you're kind of cool with, you wave at them, like in the dorms, it's like, hey, yeah, you don't bother me, we're fine. Upstairs, downstairs neighbors, not so good. Loud music, dogs, bad. So if things are upstairs, downstairs, they don't get along, they subtract. Side by side is fine, they add. So this is the same as 2 to the negative 18n plus 3. And we still have 2 to the 6th. So I'm just going to bring that up here. And now we're just going to solve this. So we minus 3. So we have negative 18n equals 3. And then we're going to divide by negative 18. That's huge. We get n is negative 1/6. All right, well, the 64, you can just type this in the calculator to make sure it equals. So, like, we know 64 was 2 to the 6th. So this 1 over 64 times 3 to the negative 1/6, negative 1/2, square root of 1/64 is 1/8. but it's negative, so it becomes 8. 8 times 8 is 64. Like, it does work, but anytime you check, like, if you just take the negative 1/6, plug it in, type everything on the left side, see what you get, type everything on the right side, see what you get, see if they match. All right, got another little pair for this video. So now, solving an equation with positive and negative powers. Okay, so this one is saying 3 to the x plus 1 equals negative 2. So 3 raised to some weird power is going to equal negative 2. Well, I know 3 to the first is 3. 3 to the 0 is 1. 3 to the negative 1 is 1/3. 1/9. 1 over. It never gets to 0. It sure never gets to negatives. So 2 to the x equals negative 100 also. No solution. Now, if we have a negative in front of the exponential, like it's negative 1 times 2 to the x, then we can actually do some mathing around. Then it's possible. But just a normal exponential equaling a negative number, not going to happen.